We're here with Barely Fishing. We talked on a prior video when we were first showing this house how we need to do some modifications on this front tongue jack. The holes broke out in the back, so it's not working right. So instead of putting a new plate on, what we're going to do in this particular model, we're going to move and put a different tongue jack on this thing, and we're going to mount it on the bottom frame. So that way, if the wind should ever go bad on us on the lake during fishing, we'd have another way of getting this house scissored back together. So it kind of would, be a nice way to have a secondary lift. So the first thing you can do is you can take a jack somewhat similar to this right here, and you can put a plate on the bottom of it, and then you could just bolt it. But you would have to shim it out or put another heavier plate on and bolt out a way so that this is going to clear it, of course, when it goes up and down. So you got to take that into consideration. We opted to go with a different style. We're going to get one here that has the pull pin so we can get the jack completely out of our way. So we're just going to basically take a round piece. We are going to weld it on right here. But what we have to do and figure out is that this jack doesn't go all the way to the floor. So we had to measure our measurement. We need about 3 inches. So when we put this here, we're going to need 3 inches below. We are also going to install in this house, pucks are made out of UHMW machinable plastic. And we just cut these out and drill the hole in them, and then they go on the very bottom of the house, and we have a self-tapping screw that we hold them on with, and basically helps keep the house from freezing to the ice if you're in water condition, which later in the season on Lake of the Woods, where we like to go, we do end up with some water. So when we put those on, we got to take into consideration that measurement and measure down from our mount and get the proper distance. Okay, so we figured we needed the 3 inches. So we can cut this plate off with the cut-off wheel on both sides, and we can move this all the way down. I wish that we could buy a jack that it was all the way down on, but we can't. So I just measured up my 3 inches I want to go, measured the width of this. I'm going to actually drop it down a little farther because I need a little bit more. There'll be plenty of room to hold that bracket on there. I can tack it on this side, I can tack it on the bottom. The nice thing about these jacks, just take out the one bolt. You have to have a little bit of grease, so you got to be ready for that. But you can get this whole thing out of your way so you don't warp. Or if you do get the metal a little bit out around, you can put it back together without getting your nice zinc coated shaft full of welding splatter. And you just simply take that bolt out, that comes off, give it a push. The whole thing comes right apart. And the nice thing is it's got the little indication there, so we're just going to line that all the way up so it's centered and move that down. Okay, of course, always use a pair of safety glasses before you're going to do something like this. Gloves is highly recommended, of course. And we're just going to cut the weld off of it. Just like that, clean up the bracket a little bit, and we'll just move it on down. We'll get back to you later when we start welding. Thanks. Okay, we've moving the bracket down to the bottom of the jack tube housing and welded it all in place. Put the jack back together so we can position it up to get it on the trailer where we want, so it will drop right down to the ice with this jack as a secondary lift. Now I've taken and putting boards and blocks up so that I can set the jack basically as what your ground would be, and then we've got the mount that goes in the trailer pinned in the back of the jack already. Now we'll just take and mark it on the trailer where it's got to go, and from there we'll weld it on. We tacked on this bracket and everything so it couldn't move. I tacked it on the inside, up and down, and then I took the blocks out of the way. And I put a jack stand here, let it down, get it out of your way so you don't have to have it fall on you. And got underneath here then with the creeper and got it welded all the way around solid. She's on there nice and solid now. We make sure lastly, that our jack goes on and our pins all go in. Just like they should. And that's that. Now we'll take it all apart and get the jack painted all back up nice and paint these brackets and everything so they don't rust, and that's the 100% done project.
All right, so just a quick note here. We did end up putting the jack in a little different spot than we talked about initially, and that was just to allow a little bit more clearance. And fun enough, we got this all put together, and the winch cable actually did break on me. Getting old, I got it replaced, but I have been able to use it to still scissor up and down off the truck. So it's been great to have the jack down there, and super easy to maneuver. So super happy with it.